Part 2. Padawan. That night, I cut off the little braid on the back of my head. Dad noticed first. Oh, good, he said. I never liked that thing. Via couldn't believe I'd cut it off. That took you years to grow, she said, almost like she was angry. Why did you cut it off? I don't know, I answered. Did someone make fun of it? No. Did you tell Christopher you were cutting it off? We're not even friends anymore. That's not true, she said. I can't believe you would just cut it off like that, she added soonly, and then practically slammed my bedroom door shut as she left the room. I was snuggling with Daisy on my bed when Dad came in to tuck me in later. He scooched Daisy over gently to lay down on the blanket next to me. So, Augie Doggy, he said, was it really an okay day? He got that from an old cartoon about a dachshund named Augie Doggy, by the way. He had bought it for me on eBay when I was about 4, and we watched it for a while, especially in the hospital. He would call me Augie Doggy, and I would call him Dear Old Dad. Like the puppy called the dachshund Dad on the show. Yeah, it was totally okay, I said, nodding. You've just been so quiet all night long. I guess I'm just tired. It was a long day, huh? I nodded. But it really was okay? I nodded again. He didn't say anything, so after a few seconds, I said, it was actually better than okay. That's great to hear, Augie, he said quietly, kissing my forehead. So it looks like it was a good call Mom made, you going to school. Yeah, but I could stop going if I want to, right? That was the deal, yes, he answered. Though I guess it would depend on why you want to stop going too, you know? You'd have to let us know, and you'd have to talk to us about it and tell us how you're feeling and if anything bad was happening, okay? You promise you tell us? Yeah. So, can I ask you something? Are you mad at Mom or something? You've been kind of huffy with her all night long. You know, Augie, I'm just as much to blame for sending you to school as she is. No, she's more to blame. It was her idea. Mom knocked on the door just then and peeked her head inside the room. Just wanted to say goodnight, she said. She looked kind of shy for a second. Hi, Mama, Dad said, picking up my hand and waving it at her. I heard you cut off your braid, Mom said to me, sitting at the edge of my bed next to Daisy. It's not a big deal, I answered quickly. I didn't say it was, said Mom. Why don't you put Augie to bed tonight, Dad said to me. I've got some work to do anyways. Good night, my son. That was another part of Augie Doggy, our routine, though I wasn't in the mood to say good night, dear old Dad. I'm proud of you, Dad said, and then he got up from the bed. Mom and Dad had always taken turns putting me to bed. I know it was a little babyish of me to still need them to do that, but that's just the way it was. Mom and Dad had always taken turns putting me to bed, and I did like that. Will you check on Via? Mom said to Dad as she laid down next to me. He stopped by the door and turned around. What's wrong with Via? Nothing, said Mom, shrugging. At least that she would tell me, but first day of high school, that's all. Said Dad, and then pointing his finger at me and winked. It's always something with you kids, isn't it? Never a dull moment, said Mom. Never a dull moment, Dad repeated. Good night, guys. As soon as he closed the door, Mom pulled out the book she'd been reading for me for the last couple of weeks. I was relieved because I was really afraid she wanted to talk, and I just didn't feel like doing that. But Mom didn't seem like she wanted to talk either. She just flipped through the pages until she got to where we had left off. We were halfway through The Hobbit. Stop, stop, shouted Thorin, said Mom as she read aloud, but it was too late. The excited dwarves had wasted their last arrows, and now the bows of the Borin had given them were useless. I'm not sure, but all of a sudden I started to cry. Mom put the book down and wrapped her arms around me. She didn't seem surprised that I was crying. It's okay, she said. It'll be okay. I'm sorry, shh, she said, wiping the tears with the back of her hand. You have nothing to be sorry about. Why do I have to be so ugly, Mommy? I whispered. No, baby, you're not. I know I am. She kissed me all over my face. She kissed my eyes that came down too far. She kissed my cheeks that looked like they were punched in. And she kissed my tortoise mouth. She said soft words that I know were meant to help, but the words could not change my face. Wake me up when September ends. The rest of September was hard. I wasn't used to getting up so early in the morning. I wasn't used to this whole notion of homework. And I got my first quiz at the end of the month. I never got quizzes when Mom homeschooled me. I also didn't like how I had no free time anymore. Before, I was able to play whenever I wanted to, but now it felt like I always had stuff to do for school. And being at school was awful in the beginning. Every new class I had was like a new chance for some kid to not stare at me. They would sneak peeks at me from far behind their notebooks, or when they thought I wasn't looking. They would take the longest way around me to avoid bumping into me in any way, like I had some kind of germ that they could catch, like my face was contagious. In the halls, which were always crowded, my face would surprise some new, unsuspecting kid who maybe hadn't heard about me yet. The kid would make the sound you make when you hold your breath before going underwater, a little sound. This happened maybe 4 or 5 times a day for the first few weeks. On the stairs, in front of the lockers, in the library. 500 kids in the school. Eventually, every one of them was going to have to see my face at some time. And I knew after the first couple of days that word had gotten around about me, because every once in a while I'd catch a kid elbowing his friend as they passed me, or talking behind their hands as I walked by them. I can only imagine what they're saying about me. Actually, I prefer not to imagine it. I'm not saying they were doing any of these things in a mean way. By the way, not once did any kid laugh or make noises or do anything like that. They were just being normal, dumb kids, and I know that. I kind of wanted to tell them that. Like, it's okay, I know I'm weird looking. Take a look. I don't bite. Hey, the truth is, if a Wookiee started going to school all of a sudden, I'd be curious. I'd probably stare a bit. And if I was walking with Jack or Summer, I'd probably whisper to them, hey, there's that Wookiee. And if the Wookiee caught me saying that, he'd know I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just pointing out the fact that he's a Wookiee. It took me about 1 week for the kids in my class to get used to my face. These were the kids I'd see in my classes every day. It took about 2 weeks for the rest of my kids in my grade to get used to my face. These were the kids I'd see in the cafeteria, yard time, PE, music, library, computer class. And it took about a month for the entire school to get used to it. These were all the kids in all the other grades. They were big kids, some of them. Some of them had crazy haircuts. Some of them had earrings in their nose. Some of them had pimples. But still, none of them looked like me. Jack Will. I hung out with Jack in homeroom. English, history, computer, music, and science, which were all the classes we had together. The teachers assigned seatings in every class, and I ended up sitting next to Jack in every single class. So I figured either teachers were told to put me and Jack together, or it was a totally incredible coincidence. I walked to classes with Jack too. I know he noticed kids staring at me, but he pretended not to notice. One time though, on our way to history, this huge 8th grader was zooming down the stairs 2 steps at a time, accidentally bumped into us at the bottom of the stairs and knocked me down. As the guy helped me stand up, he got a look at my face, and without even meaning to, he just said, "Whoa." Then he patted me on the shoulder like he was dusting me off and took off after his friends. For some reason, me and Jack started cracking up. "That guy made the funniest face," said Jack as we sat at our desks. "I know, right?" I said. "He was like, whoa." I swear, I think he wet his pants. We were laughing so hard that the teacher, Miss Roche, had to ask us to settle down. Later, after we finished reading about how the ancient Sumerians built sundials, Jack whispered, Do you ever want to beat those kids up? I shrugged. I guess. I don't know. I'd want to. I think you should get a secret squirt gun or something attached to your eyes somehow. And every time someone stares at you, you just squirt them in the face. With some green slime or something, I answered. No, with slug juice mixed with dog pee. Yeah, I said, completely agreeing. Guys, said Miss Roach from across the room, people are still reading. We nodded and looked down at our books. Then Jack whispered, Are you always gonna look this way, August? I mean, can't you get, like, plastic surgery or something? I smiled and pointed to my face. Hello, this is after plastic surgery. Jack clapped his hands over his forehead and started laughing hysterically. Dude, you should sue your doctor, he answered between some giggles. This time, the two of us were laughing so much that we could not even stop, even after Miss Roach came over and made us both switch chairs with the kid sitting next to us. Mr. Brown's October Precept. Mr. Brown's precept for October was, Your deeds are your monuments. He told us that this was written on the tombstone of some Egyptian guy that died thousands of years ago. Since we were just about to start studying ancient Egyptians in history, Mr. Brown thought it was a good choice for a precept. Our homework assignment was to write a paragraph about what we thought the precept meant, or how we felt about it. This is what I wrote. This precept means that we should be remembered for the things we do. The things we do are the most important things of all. They are more important than the things, what we say, or what we look like. The things we do outlast our morality. The things we do are like monuments that people build to honor heroes after they have died. They are like the pyramids that the Egyptians built to honor the pharaohs, only instead of being made out of stone, they are made out of the memories people have of you. That's why your deeds are like monuments, built with memories instead of stone. Apples. My birthday is October 10th. I like my birthday. 10/10. It would have been great if I could have been born at exactly 10:10 in the morning or 10:10 at night, but I wasn't. I was born just after midnight, but I still think my birthday is cool. I usually have a little party at my house, but this year I asked Mom if I could have a big bowling party. Mom was surprised, but she was happy. She asked me who I wanted to invite from my class, and I said everyone in my homeroom, plus Summer. That's a lot of kids, Augie, said Mom. I have to invite everyone because I don't want anyone to get their feelings hurt if they find out other people are invited and they aren't, okay? Okay, Mom agreed. You even want to invite that what's the deal kid? Yes, you can invite Julian, I answered. Geez, Mom, you should forget about that already. I know, you're right. A couple of weeks later, I asked Mom who was coming to my party. She said Jack Will, Summer, Reed Kingsley, both Maxes, and a couple of other kids said they were going to try and be there. Like who? Charlotte's mom said Charlotte had a dance recital earlier in the day, but she was going to try to come to your party if time allowed. And Tristan's mom said he might come after his soccer game. So, that's it? I said, that's like 5 people. That's more than 5 people, August. I think a lot of people just have plans already, Mom answered. We were in the kitchen and she was cutting one of the apples we had just gotten from the farmer's market. What kind of plans? I asked. I don't know, Augie. We sent out the Evites kind of late. Like, what did they tell you, though? What were the reasons they gave? Everyone gave different reasons, Augie. She sounded a bit impatient. Really, sweetie, it shouldn't matter what their reasons were. People had plans, and that's all. What did Julian give as his reason? I asked. You know, said Mom, his mom was the only person who didn't RSVP at all. She looked at me. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I laughed because I thought she was making a joke, but then I realized she wasn't. What do you mean? I asked. Never mind. Now just go wash your hands so we can eat. My birthday party turned out to be much smaller than I would have thought to be, but it was still great. Jack, Summer, Reed, Tristan, and both Maxes came from school. And Christopher came too. all the way from Bridgeport with his parents. And Uncle Ben came, and Aunt Katie and Uncle Pooh drove in from Boston, though Tata and Papa were in Florida for the winter. It was fun because all the grown-ups ended up bowling in the lane next to ours, so it felt like there were a lot of people to celebrate my birthday. Halloween. At lunch the next day, Summer asked me what I was going to be for Halloween. Of course, I'd been thinking about it since last Halloween, so I already knew. Boba Fett. You know, you can always wear a costume to school on Halloween, right? No way, really? So as long as it is politically correct. What, like no guns and stuff? Exactly. What about blasters? I think blasters are like a gun, Augie. Oh man, I said, shaking my head. Boba Fett has blasters. At least we don't have to come like a character in a book anymore. In lower school, that's what we had to do. Last year, I was the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. But that's a movie, not a book. Hello, Summer answered. It was a book first. One of my favorite books in the world, actually. My dad used to read it to me every night in first grade. When Summer talks, especially when she's excited about something, her eyes squint like she's looking right into the sun. I hardly ever see Summer during the day, since the only class we have together is English. But ever since that first day at lunch at school, we've sat at the summer table together every day, just the two of us. So, what are you going to be? I asked her. I don't know yet. I know what I'd really want to go as, but I think it might be too dorky. You know, Savannah's group isn't even wearing costumes at all this year. They think we're too old for Halloween. What? That's just dumb. I know, right? I thought you didn't care what those girls thought. She shrugged and took a long drink of her milk. So, what dorky thing did you want to dress up as? I asked her, smiling. Promise not to laugh? She raised her eyebrows and shoulders, and me embarrassed. A unicorn. I smiled and looked at my sandwich. Hey, you promised not to laugh. Okay, I said, but you're right, that is too dorky. I know, she said, but I have it all planned out. I'd make the head out of paper mache and paint the horns gold and make the mane gold too. It would be so awesome. Okay, I shrugged, then you should do it. Who cares what other people think, right? Maybe what I'll do is just wear it for the Halloween parade, she said, snapping her fingers. And just like that, a goth girl for school. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'll do. Sounds like a plan, I nodded. Thanks, Augie, she giggled. You know, that's what I like about you. I feel like I can tell you anything. Yeah, I answered, nodding. I gave her a thumbs up. Cool beans. School pictures. I don't think anyone will be shocked to learn I don't want to have my school pictures taken on October 22nd. No way, no thank you. I stopped letting anyone take pictures of me a while ago. I guess you could call it a phobia. No, actually, it's not a phobia. It's an aversion, which is a word I learned in Mr. Brown's class. I have an aversion to having my picture taken. There, I used it in a sentence. I thought Mom would try to get me to drop my aversion and have my picture taken for school, but she didn't. Unfortunately, while I managed to avoid having this portrait taken, I couldn't get out of being a part of the class picture. Ugh, the photographer looked like he had just sucked on a lemon when he saw me. I'm sure he thought I'd ruined the picture. I was just one in the front sitting down. I didn't smile. Not that anyone could tell if I ever had. Cheese touch. I noticed not too long that even though people were getting used to me, no one actually wanted to touch me. I didn't realize this at first because it's not like kids go around touching each other that much in middle school anyways. But last Thursday in dance class, which is like my least favorite class, the teacher tried to make Zima Chin my dance partner. Now, I've never actually seen someone have a panic attack before, but I had heard about it, and I'm pretty sure Zima had a panic attack that second. She got really nervous and turned pale and literally broke into a sweat within a minute. And then she came up with some lame excuse about how she really had to go to the bathroom. Anyways, the teacher let her off the hook because she ended up not having to make anyone dance together. Then yesterday in my science elective, we were doing this cool mystery powder investigation where we would have to classify a substance as an acid or a base. Everyone had to heat their mystery powders on a heating plate and make some observations. So we were all huddled around the powders with our notebooks. Now, there are 8 kids in the elective, and 7 of them were squished together one side of the plate. Well, one of them, me, had loads of room on the other side. So, of course, I noticed this. But I was hoping Miss Rubin wouldn't notice this because I didn't want her to say anything. But, of course, she did notice this. Guys, there's plenty of room on that side over there. Tristan, Nino, go over there, she said. So Tristan and Nino scooted over to my side. Tristan and Nino have always been okay nice to me. I want to go on the record saying that. Not like super nice, like they go out of their way to hang out with me, but okay nice, like they say hello to me and talk to me like I'm normal. And they didn't even make a face when Miss Rubin told them to come by my side, which a lot of kids would probably do. Anyways, everything was going fine until Tristan's mystery powder started melting. He moved his foil plate just as my powder began to melt too, which is why I went to move mine off the plate. And then I'd accidentally bumped his hand for a fraction of a second. Tristan jerked his hand away so fast that he dropped his foil plate on the floor, also knocking everyone else's foil plates off the heating plates. "Tristan!" yelled Miss Rubin, but Tristan didn't even care about the spilled powder on the floor or that he ruined the experiment. What he was most concerned about was getting to the lab sink to wash his hands as fast as possible. That's when I knew for sure that there was this thing about touching me at Beecher Prep. I think it's like the cheese touch in Diary of Your Wimpy Kid. The kids in that story were afraid they'd catch cooties if they touched the old moldy cheese on the basketball court. At Beecher Prep, I'm the old moldy cheese. So I'm going to stop there for today, and I can't wait to see you all next week. See you guys.